morning. My name is Litvinari Chinavusari Ambon. I'm from grade 3A, NPM 1831-2067. In this video, I want to explain about domestic tourism and international tourism. Okay, first I want to explain about the domestic tourism. Domestic tourism is a tourism involving residents of one country traveling only within that country. Labuan Bajo is the one of the domestic tourism. Labuan Bajo is very famous because the natural wealth. Beside that, Labuan Bajo very famous because very many tourist attractions. And now Labuan Bajo will become a premium city and will become the second Bali. Okay, one of the domestic tourism or one of the tourist attractions will we visit in Labuan Bajo is a Komodo National Park. Komodo National Park is a national park in Indonesia located within the Leisure Sunda Island in the border region between the province of East Nusa Tenggara and West Nusa Tenggara. Komodo National Park has been selected as one of the new 7 wonders of nature. Komodo Island is one of the 17.508 that compares the Republic of Indonesia. The island is particularly notable as the habitat of the Komodo Dragon, the large lizard on Earth, which is named after the island. The island are descendants of former convicts who were exiled to the island and who have mixed with the exile to the island and who have mixed with the Bugis from Sulawesi. The people are primarily adherents of Islam, but there are also Christian and Hindu congregations. Apart from being a natural conservation place to protect the Komodo dragons, which is one of Indonesian's native wildlife. Komodo National Park also refers over Komodo National Park also offers a stunning panorama. It is not surprising that this area has become one of the destinations both domestic and foreign. The national park includes not only Komodo Island, but also several other islands in the vicinity. Of course, there are various activities that we can be enjoyed while we be there. The activities or things that can be enjoyed on Komodo National Park when we visit there is first we can see the Komodo Dragon directly. We can see the Komodo Dragon directly. When visiting Komodo National Park, the main goal of visitors is to a close look at the animals that have inhabited the island since 40 million years ago. However, make sure to comply with the rules and be accompanied by the handler when approaching the Komodo dragon habitat. This is important to do in order to avoid unwanted things because after all The Komodo dragons is one of the wild animals. Okay, the second one is enjoy snorkeling on Keller Island. Having a vacation to Komodo National Park turns out to not only be able to see the dragons up close, but also enjoy the snorkeling activities on Keller Island. The snorkeling location is quite easy to reach because it is about 1 hour from Labuan Bajo. This area has the charm of underwater beauty with more than 2 million corals and thousands of the fish species. Okay, 3. Interacting with the local communities in the Komodo tourism village. One of the unique and interesting things about visiting the area is taking a closer look at the activities of the native inhabitants of the Komodo Islands who live in the Komodo village. The village is located in the outer part of West Manggarai Regency. We can see the indigenous people of the village when making a Komodo dragon statue of providing their ability to mingle with these Asian animals. Beside that, beside that, the other things or the other activities we can do in when we visit a Komodo National Park is witnessing the beauty of sunrise and sunset on Kanava Island. There is a hill on Kanava Island, which is an interesting spot to enjoy the beauty of the sunrise and sunset. No wonder that this place is also an attractive photo spot for tourists. Okay, now the, about the values that we can take when we visiting Komodo National Park. First, the values that we can take when we visit the Komodo National Park is first community in that people in that Komodo National Park is a very participant in preserving the Komodo National Park, and the people who live in Komodo Island very maintain and very preserving the place by maintaining clean lines, and the people who live in that place very friendly. Okay, now I want to explain about the how to get to the Komodo National Park. Okay, Komodo National Park is located in West Regency. It's Nusa Tenggara. This area is more easily accessible via Labuan Bajo or Bima, with several alternative routes from land, sea, and air. For those of you who want to use the land route, you should prepare mentally and physically because this trip will take days. Sea road is the cheapest options as well as fast enough. So it's not wonder many choose to use this road when we want to visit Komodo National Park. Okay, and the other things um, I want to I want to explain to you is about the price, about the ticket when we at ticket national park, um, and many others. How if we want to go there, First, we can go there with boat. Second, the distance from Labuan Bajo to Komodo National Park, it's about 43.6 kilometer, and the time it takes from Labuan Bajo to Komodo National Park is 4 hours. 4 hours. Okay, now I want to explain about the how the situation of the Komodo National Park during the pandemic COVID-19. Okay, during the pandemic COVID-19, the Komodo National Park area is a temporarily closed. All of that to anticipate the phase of the COVID-19. Several months closed, the Komodo National Park area finally reopened in July. But there are many conditions that must be followed by every visitor or tourist. The first, the first is the limitation for every visitor. The number of visitors of tourists who can visit there is only 15 until to 20 people. That aims to carry out to anticipate the spread of the new types of the virus, namely COVID-19. The second one is no snorkeling and many others. And because the tourists hit all these rules, until now the Komodo National Park has been able to receive visitors, even in a Okay, now I want to explain about the international tourism. International tourism refers to tourism that crosses national borders. The World Tourism Organization defines tourists as a people traveling to and staying in places outside their usual environment for not more than one consecutive years for leisure, business, and other purposes. Singapore is the one of the international tourism. Singapore is one of the tourist attractions visited for Indonesian citizens who wish to visit abroad. Okay, here's about the tourist attractions in Singapore. Here are some tourist attractions in Singapore that we can recommend to visit when visiting Singapore. First, Universal Studio. The biggest theme park in Singapore is Universal Studio, Sentosa, Singapore. That's our entertainment for families, with designs and rides that certainly appeal to children to adults. It's no wonder it's always a favorite tourist park in Singapore when we travel to Singapore. The rides at Universal Studios Singapore are divided into zones. For example, the far away zone or the sky free zone and others. Universal Studios Singapore also features street entertainment. The opening hours of the tourist attractions in Singapore are always the same every day, namely 10 a.m., never sooner or late. Closing hours 7 p.m. or low season and 9 p.m. peak season. The closing hour announcement is at the entrance gate. Second one is a Merlion Park. Designed as a symbol of Singapore in 1964, the Merlion statue is in the shape of a lion head. with a face, body, and a top of the waves. The icon of the Singapore, which is famous around the world, designed by M.R.'s Fraser Brunner, member of the Souvenir Committee and the curator at the Fun Cliff Aquarium. What's exciting about seeing tourist attractions in Singapore at Million Park is that here visitors can see a spectacular view of the Singapore City landscape. Visitors can see the Marina Bay Sands building, the Esplanade, the Singapore Flyer, and many more. Okay, now I want to explain about the values that we can take when we visiting Singapore. Apart from enjoying the tourist attractions, culture in Singapore is very beautiful and very unique. In Singapore, there are Indians, there are Malay, Chinese, Philippines, Indonesian are mixed here, and the inhabitants are of various ethnicities, but live in but live in harmony and peace. In Singapore, countries in Singapore, I think uh, I think that countries very respect each other and love diversity. Okay, beside that, the lifestyle of the people in Singapore. There are seven principles of life Singaporeans that we should follow. Is a first, obey the law. The second one, discipline and respect for time. Maintain a clean lines. There is no tolerance for a corruption. Respect each others, and the differences is not problem for them. Okay, now I want to explain about how to get to the Singapore. Okay, to go to the Singapore, we must prepare first passport and visa fees. In order to travel to Singapore, you do not need to a fee to apply for a visa, but you still need a passport that you can make at the immigration office around you domicile. For tourists from Indonesia, the period of stay in Singapore is 30 days, with a passport validity period of at least 6 months. Visitors are allowed to extend their stay by submitting an application at the immigration and checkpoints authority before their visa expires. Second one is airline tickets bar cost. The easiest and most popular way to get to the Singapore is by plane. Currently, there are many airlines serving flights from Indonesia to the country, including Air Asia, J-Star, and Garuda Indonesia. If you depart from Jakarta Soekarno-Hatta International Airport, the cheapest air fares to Singapore is currently around four is about a four 400 400 400 and 400 and 40,000 40,000. Okay, number three, how to get to the Singapore is lodging cost. Okay, lodging cost. To save on expenses, tourists can choose to spend the night in accommodation at low rate. In Singapore itself, even though it is a country with a high living cost, you can still find many inns with affordable room rate. Generally, accommodation with low rental cost is hotel and homestay type. Number four is transportation cost. Transportation cost. Number five, meal cost, and the last is entrance ticket to the tourist attractions. And now I want to explain about the how the condition, how the situation in Singapore while uh, during the pandemic that during the pandemic COVID-19. During the pandemic COVID-19, the Singapore rent is a temporary clause. All of that to anticipate the phase of the COVID-19. But in several months closed it, Singapore are finally reopened um, and in Singapore now is a very visitor very tourists visit that country visit that country even in a pandemic